So we don't know that bad about store rice. Alright, let's go. I want one bag of white rice. Small curry in the packet there. I want four. I want four Maggi all purpose in a similar size. Two small bag of salt. And that's it. 9,700. 9,700? Alright, you can take care of that, sir? Take care. Yeah. I can tell man, boy, if you go buy rice, so me can show no up store rice. Oh no, help me. Yeah. Can I get 2 bucket? Bucket. 2 bucket. Yeah. You have bucket?
Empty bucket?
Yeah.
No, we're out.
Morning. You sell empty 5-gallon bucket. Damn it. And man, I still even find 2 buckets for me. Now the most important thing is that the bucket needs to be food safe. Let me say food safe. So you cannot use bucket that use certain chemicals in it. Like a bleach bucket is not so bad. You can actually, wash out the bleach, and because the next step that I'm going to show you is going to be important. So let's hope I get 2 buckets. Let's go. So this was probably the hardest part. Okay, so there's a couple of things that we need to learn about storing rice for long term. Now, one of the process that you can use that will make the rice last a little bit longer is putting it in the freezer. Now, putting it in the freezer for more than 2 days and freezing the rice actually helps in killing all the larvae that you're experiencing with bugs and weevil. So the weevil actually comes in the rice. This is why it's important to wash your rice before you cook it. Now, in some Asian country, they've actually washed the rice, boil the rice, throw the water off, and then boil it and steam it again. Now, the larva, which is the eggs, can live and stay in these rice for years before they hatch. Now, one of the things that actually help rice to the weevil to grow is the right conditions, like the right moisture, the right air, the right amount of lighting. So in storing the rice, we have to try and reduce these things as much as possible. So now that I've frozen this rice, which has been in the fridge for 2 weeks, because I haven't had the time to do it, but I'm going to be doing it now. So the rice has been frozen for 2 weeks. We're going to take it out and we're going to just leave it to kind of just get to room temperature. Yes, you don't have to worry so much about the rice getting moldy, because in reality, because the rice was already in the bag, a lot of the moisture won't get into the bag. So the little moisture that might be in the bag, the rice will absorb that moisture. So we're going to put it in the sun and get it to room temperature and thaw out a little bit before we start putting it into the bucket. So soon come. And while we're waiting for the rice to thaw, please remember to share and post these videos. We share these videos, guys. So there's a couple of things you're gonna need if you're gonna store rice. So there's a couple of methods that you can use. Now, you've seen that we've put the rice in the fridge. Now that helps to keep all the weevil from coming back, mostly. And the methods are, you're going to want to use a mylar bag if you want to store it for 20 to 30 years. Now, the reason for a mylar bag is to seal the rice properly by using the mylar bag. Now, there are other ways to store the rice. If you just take the rice now and put it in a sealed container like a bucket, anything at all, in a bucket, bags, without taking out the oxygen, the rice will then last for 5 to 10 years. Right, closer to 5 years. So the methods are simple. You can always vacuum seal it by getting out the air which will then last for 25 to 30 years, or you just keep it in a bucket container, anything at all that can close, and that will just naturally last for 5 to 10 years. So we're gonna be using the Mylar bag. Now, when it comes to the vacuuming out of the air, we won't be using any vacuuming machine. We're going to be using what is called oxygen absorbers. So when we put these in the actual bag and seal it, what will happen is that the oxygen absorber will suck the air inside the bag while it's sealed and hold the air in this, and then that would seal the bag all on its own, right? We're using the bucket just to keep the bag safe. So we're using a bucket. This is actually a used bucket that I had bought from a place. This was, I think it's soap, but this was our hand sanitizer, which is also food safe, because this is actually used in restaurants and so forth. Right, you might want to use food safe containers preferably. And if you're gonna put it in the Mylar bag, then you can get away with certain kind of containers, right? Because the Mylar bag will be completely sealed. Now, if you don't want to end up with the issue of when you open this, then you're gonna have to deal with the whole lot of rice if you know you can't use it after a certain amount of time, because most of the time you won't be able to reseal back these bags. Now, this bag comes with a zip, right? So it doesn't reseal back the oxygen, but it closed the bag, and that's just about it. So one of the options that you can do is to buy these bags in the 1 gallons or the smaller bags, and then you can either just pound them out and just put individual oxygen absorber in those, and then you just put them in the bucket separate. So when you're actually getting the rice, you're taking it out by the parcel, right? This is a 5-gallon bag, right? And it holds about 35 to 40 pounds of rice, I think. I don't remember the last time when I did it. Now, when it comes to oxygen absorbers, no, I had some bigger one that I used in the last one, but these are actually smaller in terms of cc. So this is a whole 500 cc. Now, you're gonna want to put in at least 100 cc per gallon of grain, but since I'm doing the 5-gallon bucket, I'm doing the 500 cc. Right? Now this is an indicator. This lets you know if the oxygen absorber is compromised. Now, most of the time when you get the oxygen absorber, they're going to be vacuum sealed, right? Because as soon as you open them, they'll start to absorb air slowly. So as soon as I tear this bag open, I just put these as is in the container. And then these are food safe, of course. So naturally the bag will just seal on its own. So let's go ahead and see if we can pour some rice in this bag and do a sealing process. And also you're gonna need maybe a flat iron to help with the sealing process of these bags, right? These bags are sealed by heat, so you could always seal them by simply using either an iron if you can catch the crease properly, or you just use a flat curling iron, or not a flat iron that you use to curl, and you just run it up by the top here, and the top will be sealed, and then it has the zip part. So whenever you're ready and you tear the part that is sealed, you're gonna still have a zip, right? So let's go ahead and pour some rice in the bucket. The rice should be thawed out by now, and let's store some rice for 35 years. Alright, so we're gonna get the bucket, and remember, you need to make sure the bucket is sealed. Two-Face, no. So the best way to do it is to make sure that the bucket, the bag is actually in the bucket. Now these bags look bigger than 5. I get it. Anyways. So in addition to that, normally you just put the oxygen absorber in the bag and then you just seal it. But for these bags, I'm going to experiment on them. So what I did was I bought the all-purpose and I bought curry. Now I think one of the worst things that you can do is to wake up 25 years from now and realize that you don't have no seasoning for cook to make your food taste like a goodish. So I'm going to be stashing these in the bag. Now, curry doesn't stay very fresh for long. I don't think they last really over 5 years. I think they start losing their flavor after 5 years. But I'm going to try it regardless and just, you know, hope for the best. These are actually still sealed. So hopefully they hold some form of flavoring. Now, again, you don't have to try this, but this is just something I am trying. And also I'm going to be putting in a bag of salt. Because I really don't want to wake up and eat fresh rice. So I'm going to be putting these and stucking these into the bag. Again, you don't have to follow this. Now, really and truly, the bag doesn't hold any more than maybe about 25 to 30 pounds of rice, I'm assuming. Alright, so it's roughly about 25 to 30 pounds of rice. The one bag is really about 100 pounds. And then you're going to want to squeeze this in as best as you can and squeeze out as much air. Now this is the oxygen absorber. Remember, you only need a minimum of at least 100 cc per gallon, and this is a 5-gallon bucket, so we're just going to assume the worst, and we're going to add 5 of this, which is 500 milligram. So we're going to rip the bag, take out the oxygen absorbers. There should be about 10 little mini ones, so we're just going to drop them in the bag. We're just going to drop these in the bag. Then squeeze out as much as air as possible and seal the zipper. What I want to get now is just a basic regular flat iron. Basic regular flat iron. So we're waiting for it to hot. I'll test to see if it's hot. Alright, so squeeze out as much air, seal back the zipper. And then we'll seal. Alright, so we completely seal the bag. So you want to try not to break the seal. Cover your bucket. Cover your bucket. There's a little part that I want to put in the video, and this is important. If you want to store rice for your family, it is expected that it takes 300 pounds of rice per person to last them for the whole entire year, and that's assuming that you don't eat rice every day, right? So if you're gonna store the rice, take a look at time and buy one bag every now and then, or one half bag. I can hear the bugs getting loud because it's late, but you can buy one little half bag. But keep in mind that it takes up to 300 pounds of rice per year per person. if they're gonna be eating rice and rice alone, right? Because rice store is better than a lot of other things, right? Anyways, let's go. All right, so that's basically how I do it. There's other ways to do it, as I mentioned. You can always put bay leaf and cloves into your rice and put it in a bucket, but it won't last for more than maybe about 5 years, right? So there are other ways to store the rice. When you vacuum seal it, you see the enemy of food is oxygen. When you remove oxygen out of food, you remove time, or slow down time. So a lot of times when you see me vacuum sealing food, it's really about lessening the time, because time is really the enemy of food for food. So what you want to do now with a bucket like that, you just put it in a cool area, not in any direct sun. If you notice, the mylar bag is also shaded, so no light will get into it, right? So that should last for up to 25 to 30 years, especially because it was vacuumed by the oxygen sealer, and also because it was in the fridge. If you choose not to put it in the fridge, you will end up with weeble. Now remember, guys, that we put a lot of effort into making these videos for you guys, and it took me 2 weeks to make that video, because to be honest, when I put the rice in the fridge, I was honestly too busy to do the video, so it was just in the fridge for the whole 2 weeks. So if you can, remember, guys, share the video, let me know if you learned something new, and let me know what else you'd want me to show you to store. This is Dan here from Such and Such. Check it out. By the way, let me ask you something. Who are gonna pay me back for my money when I take pay for rice? And because you ask me for rice, but nobody not giving no money. What a wickedness, but you want rice to store.